The council chamber was quiet, almost too quiet. Admiral Kael stood tall, his uniform crisp, but inside, his heart pounded like a war drum. Around him, representatives from dozens of alien species whispered among themselves. Humans had always been respected here, always considered clever, disciplined, and fair. But today, something felt wrong. Scientist Lira adjusted her glasses nervously, scanning the chamber. She had always believed in the justice of the Galactic Council. But justice, she realized, could be a fragile thing, easily broken. Captain Miro, Kael's second-in-command, clenched his fists. The air smelled of ozone and tension. The vote began. One by one, alien delegates spoke, some praising humans, most avoiding eye contact. Then the accusations came, sharp and cold. Humans were accused of violating council treaties, of secretly building weapons capable of destroying entire planets. No proof was offered, only suspicion and fear. Kael felt his blood run cold. "This is impossible," he whispered to Lira. "We followed every rule, every single one." Lira shook her head. "It doesn't matter what we did. They've already made their minds up." The vote ended. The result was unanimous. Humans were to be exiled. Every human colony, every fleet, every settlement outside Earth, or what remained of it, was now banned from all council space. Human ships would be destroyed if they tried to return. A gasp swept through the human delegation. The council had never acted so quickly, so ruthlessly. Kael's hand shook, not from fear, but from anger. "Exile?" he said, his voice loud enough for all to hear. "You call this justice? We built trade, knowledge, and peace. And this is how you repay us." One of the alien counselors, a tall being with silver eyes and jagged skin, leaned forward. "You will leave. You have no choice. The council cannot allow a threat to grow unchecked. You are too dangerous." Miro slammed his hand on the table. "Dangerous? We've saved countless systems from war. You're afraid of our potential, not our actions." The counselor's gaze hardened. Potential can be more dangerous than action. Kael's jaw tightened. He knew arguing further was useless. The decision was final. The humans had been cast out, their reputation destroyed overnight. Back on their flagship, the humans gathered in the main hall. Silence hung heavy over the crew. Lira paced nervously. "We can't go back. Every system will attack us if we try." Kael stared out of the massive observation window. Stars stretched into infinity. Their home systems, their colonies, their allies, all gone. "Then we move forward," he said. "Finally, we survive. That's all that matters right now." Miro shook his head, still furious. "Survive? They've cut us off from everything. Supplies, allies were alone out there, but not powerless," Lira added. "We have our fleet, our technology, our minds. We can find new systems, new opportunities. We don't have to beg for approval. We create our own path." Kael nodded. A slow fire lit in his eyes. "Then we sail into the unknown. And if anyone dares stand in our way," his voice dropped to a dangerous whisper, "they will regret it." The first human ship lifted off. The engines roared, filling the spaceport with thunder. Families waved goodbye from the observation decks, tears streaming down their faces. No one knew if they would return. No one knew if the stars themselves would be kind to the exiled human empire. As the fleet entered deep space, a transmission crackled through. It was the council. A final message. "Humans, you are exiled. Any attempt to return will be met with total destruction." Kael switched off the communicator. He turned to Lira and Miro. "They think this is the end of us. They don't know humans. They don't know what we are capable of." Miro finally relaxed slightly, a small smirk forming. "Then let's show them." Lira frowned. "We must be careful. The stars are full of danger. Pirates, hostile species. We're not just fighting the council anymore." Kael smiled grimly. "Then let them come. We are human. We adapt. We survive. And one day they will see," his voice dropped, echoing through the hall, "that no one exiles humanity and lives to tell the tale." The fleet jumped into hyperspace. The council's warning faded behind them. The human ships were gone, swallowed by the endless dark of the galaxy. But in their hearts, hope and fury burned brighter than ever. They were exiled, but exile was not the end. It was a beginning, and somewhere in the shadows, unknown alien eyes watched them leave. Not all were allies. Some were predators, some spies. The human empire was cast out. Yes, but they were far from defeated. The stars had just become a battlefield, and humanity was ready to claim it. The human fleet drifted through the endless black of space. Stars shimmered like distant lanterns, but there was no comfort in their light. Supplies were low. Morale was fragile. Every commander on every ship knew the truth. The Council had cast them out, and no one would come to help. Admiral Kael stood on the bridge of the flagship Valiant, staring at the blinking star charts. "We are alone now," he said quietly. "Every friendly system is closed. Every ally gone. But we keep moving. That is all we have." Captain Miro paced behind him, his steps echoing on the metal floor. "Alone doesn't mean powerless," he muttered. "We have ships, weapons, and humans don't give up." Lira adjusted her glasses, staring at a strange blip on the sensors. "Admiral, look at this." She pointed. "It's not a normal star system. The energy readings are artificial. Someone or something made this." Kael frowned. "Show me everything." As they approached, the system grew clearer. A planet orbited a dying sun, covered in jagged mountains and swirling clouds. Strange metallic structures dotted its surface, glowing faintly with an unknown energy. The humans landed cautiously. "This is alien," whispered Lira, "but not like anything we've seen. It's old, ancient." Miro grinned. "Ancient or not, it looks like opportunity." The human team explored carefully. They found structures filled with strange technology, machines that hummed with power, tools that seemed to respond to thought. Lira's eyes widened. "If we can understand this, we could have weapons, ships, anything we need to survive." Kael nodded, his mind racing. "This could be our chance. The Council thinks we are finished. They think we are weak. They are wrong. But danger was never far. As humans worked to salvage the technology, an unknown ship appeared in orbit. Its hull was sleek, dark, and bristling with weapons. Alien symbols flashed across its side. "Scan it." Kael ordered. Lira's hands flew over controls. "They're observing us. They haven't attacked yet, but they're hostile. I can feel it." Miro clenched his fists. "Then we finish here fast. We take what we need and get out. No heroics." But fate had other plans. As they tried to leave the planet, the alien ship fired a warning shot. The ground shook violently, and dust filled the air. Humans barely escaped, rushing back to the Valiant. Kael's voice cut through the alarms. "Prepare for battle, but don't engage unless necessary. We are still weak. Our priority is survival, not war." Lira frowned at the controls. "Admiral, there's a signal. It's coming from deep space, something calling us." "Calling us?" Miro asked. "Like a trap?" "Maybe," Lira said slowly. "Or maybe an opportunity. The signal, it's strong. Old. Powerful." Kael looked out at the stars. "We don't have a choice. We follow it. If it's danger, we'll face it together. If it's hope, we can't ignore it." The fleet changed course, moving toward the signal. Unknown worlds stretched before them. Planets with glowing rings, asteroids floating like grave markers, nebulae that swirled like oceans of color. Every jump through hyperspace brought them closer to the unknown and closer to danger. On the bridge, Miro turned to Kael. "Do you think the Council knows we are still alive?" Kael's eyes were cold. "Of course they do. They fear us. That's why they exiled us. But they have no idea what we're capable of." Hours later, the signal grew stronger. The humans arrived at a small, dead planet. Its surface was black rock, scarred by impact craters. In the center was a strange, glowing structure, a tower taller than any building humans had ever seen, humming with energy. Lira's voice trembled. This could be a source of power beyond anything we've imagined, but it could also be a trap." Kael's eyes narrowed. "Then we go carefully. We learn what we can, and we prepare for whatever comes next. As the humans stepped onto the planet, they had no idea that the alien eyes that had watched them leave the council were still following them. Not all were friendly. Some were spies, others hunters, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But humanity did what it always did. It adapted. It survived. And even in exile, even lost among the stars, it began to rise. Because humans were exiled, yes, but they were far from defeated. And the signal, whatever it promised, would change everything. The stars were no longer just empty space. They were a battlefield, a treasure trove, a mystery, and humanity had just begun to uncover its secrets. The human fleet drifted silently above the alien planet, now familiar, but still full of secrets. The strange tower they had found hummed with energy, feeding the crew with hope and fear in equal measure. Admiral Kael, Captain Miro, and Scientist Lira stood on the bridge of the Valiant, studying the ancient technology. This could change everything, Lira whispered. If we could unlock its power, we could rebuild our fleet faster, stronger, almost unstoppable. Kael nodded slowly. Then we do it. Every ship we have, every crew member, we prepare. The Council thinks they've destroyed us. They are wrong. Weeks passed in intense labor. Humans worked day and night, learning to understand alien machines. They reverse-engineered weapons that were faster, shields that were stronger, and engines that could outpace anything the Council had ever built. Miro oversaw the training, teaching crews how to use the new technology while maintaining discipline. Finally, the day came. The fleet, now larger, more powerful, and faster than ever before, prepared to leave the planet. The humans were no longer refugees. They were warriors, inventors, and survivors, ready to prove that exile could not break them. Their first encounter came sooner than expected. A small alien convoy, part of a hostile faction, appeared in the system near the human fleet. Its ships were sleek and deadly, armed with advanced weapons. Kael gave the order. Do not underestimate them, but do not fear them either. Show them what humans can do. The first battle began. Humans had learned from the Council, adapted with the alien technology, and fought with courage that no machine could match. The enemy fired lasers and missiles, but the human shields absorbed the attacks. Ships that were once ordinary now moved like predators, striking swiftly and retreating before counterattacks could land. Miro grinned as he watched the battle unfold. They never expected this, he said. They think we're weak. They don't understand humans. Lira monitored the alien systems, noting weaknesses in their formations. We can outmaneuver them. Target their command ship first. Kael nodded. Do it. And remember, stay together. We win together or we fall together. In a matter of hours, the alien convoy was defeated. Their ships scattered, retreating in fear. Humans cheered across the fleet, but Kael's expression remained calm. Victory is not the end, he reminded them. It is proof that we can survive. And soon, proof that we can thrive. News of the human victory spread quickly. Scouts reported that nearby systems were watching, curious and cautious. The Galactic Council, far away in their high towers, began to notice unusual readings. Human ships, once weak and exiled, were now fast, strong, and daring. Kael held a meeting with his officers. The Council will not ignore us for long, he said. They may send spies, or worse. We must be ready. Every ship, every planet we control must be defended, but we also strike where they least expect. Fear is a weapon. Surprise is a shield. Miro smirked. Finally, they will understand what humans are capable of. Lira's voice trembled slightly. There's something else, signals in deep space. Strange energy readings, like the tower we found. Someone or something is out there waiting. Kael looked at her, the fire determination burning in his eyes. Then we prepare. The Council fears us now. Let them. The universe has no limits, and neither do we. The humans' first victories were small, but symbolic. Exiled and underestimated, they now had the chance to prove their strength. Their fleet expanded, their knowledge grew, and their confidence soared. The Council had thought they were finished. But humans were only beginning to rise. Even in exile, Even against impossible odds, humanity adapted. Their ingenuity, courage, and unity made them stronger than ever. Each battle taught them new strategies. Each discovery of alien technology made them more formidable. As the fleet left the system, stars stretched infinitely ahead. Humans had survived betrayal, exile, and danger. Now, they were ready to claim the place in the galaxy that the Council had tried to deny them. And somewhere in the darkness, the Council spies recorded the rise of the human fleet. Whispers passed between alien factions. They are different. They are dangerous. We cannot ignore them. Kael looked at the stars, a quiet smile on his face. We are exiled, yes, but one day they will remember the name of the human empire, and they will regret ever casting us out. The fleet jumped into hyperspace, leaving the battle behind, but carrying a new legend with them, the legend of a people who could rise from exile and conquer the stars, one battle at a time. The news of the human empire's victories had reached every corner of the galaxy, and the Galactic Council was in chaos. Delegates paced nervously in their high towers, arguing, accusing, and pointing fingers. Some whispered in fear. Humans were no longer weak, no longer the exiled empire they had dismissed. They were growing, expanding, and learning faster than anyone could predict. High Chancellor Vera slammed her clawed hand on the council table. How did this happen? They were supposed to be powerless, exiled, cut off from allies, supplies, and technology. And now they are winning. Every fleet, every colony, they are becoming a threat. An advisor, a thin, shrewd-eyed alien with scales that glittered in the council light, spoke nervously. Chancellor, perhaps we underestimated them. We thought exile would destroy them, but they have adapted. They have found alien technology, and they're using it brilliantly. Vera's eyes narrowed. Then we must act. Send spies. Monitor their movements. Sabotage them if necessary. The human empire cannot be allowed to rise. Meanwhile, aboard the human flagship Valiant, Admiral Kael reviewed the latest reports. The exiled humans had liberated several colonies that had been abandoned after the Council's decree. Formerly neutral planets were now joining the human empire voluntarily. Farmers, miners, and scientists all flocked to humans, inspired by their courage and victories. Captain Miro laughed as he looked at the fleet's growing numbers. The Council thought they had crippled us. They thought they could exile us into nothing. They don't know humans. They never do. Lira frowned at a display, showing strange anomalies. Admiral, I am detecting irregular energy signals. They appear inside our communication channels. Someone is spying on us. They are learning from us. But who? Kael's face hardened. It does not matter. Whoever it is, we remain vigilant. We cannot allow betrayal. Not now. Not ever. But betrayal was closer than they imagined. Among the humans, a few voices whispered discontent. Some officers, unsettled by the rapid changes and unsure about following Kael, began to question the human mission. Though their numbers were few, their influence could be dangerous if left unchecked. Lira noticed subtle discrepancies in reports, small sabotage attempts on the engines, and minor errors in weapon calibrations. Someone is working against us, she warned quietly. Kael clenched his fists. Then we find them. Loyalty is not optional. Humanity survives together, or it does not survive at all. As the human empire consolidated power, the Council became desperate. They sent envoys to attempt negotiations, offering treaties, promises, and alliances, but Kael refused. We are no longer exiles, he said firmly. We are a people who survive, and we will not beg for your approval. The Council betrayed us. Now, they will see what humans can do. The first major test of loyalty came unexpectedly. A sabotage attempt crippled one of the fleet's key supply ships during hyperspace travel. Explosions rocked the ship, alarms blaring. Miro immediately rallied his crew. Contain the damage. Protect civilians. Find the traitor. Lira scanned the data streams. I've traced the interference. It's coming from inside the fleet. Kael's face was calm but dangerous. We root this out. Whoever tries to betray humanity will face consequences they will never forget. Hours later, the traitor, a high-ranking officer, was exposed. He had secretly sent coordinates of human colonies to the Council, hoping to secure personal favor. When Kael confronted him, the officer trembled. I just wanted to survive, he stammered. Kael's voice was like steel. Humanity survives because we trust each other. You broke that trust. You chose exile, not us, and now you will answer for it. The punishment was swift but measured. The officer was imprisoned, his actions recorded as a warning to anyone who might betray the human empire in the future. Meanwhile, the Council watched from afar, growing more fearful by the day. The human fleet had survived exile, faced impossible odds, defeated hostile alien factions, and now ruled liberated colonies. Vera's advisors whispered constantly, if we do not act soon, humans will become unstoppable. They are learning faster, adapting faster, and the galaxy may soon belong to them. Kael looked at the stars from the bridge. They think fear can control humans. They think threats can stop us. But they are wrong. Humans rise against every obstacle, every betrayal, every exile. Miro placed a hand on Kael's shoulder. And now, where do we go from here? Kael smiled grimly, eyes on the horizon. We grow stronger. We prepare for the storms ahead. The Council fears us now, and fear is the first step to respect. But one day, the galaxy will remember, humanity does not ask for permission. Humanity takes what it deserves. And somewhere in the shadows of the Council, secret operatives prepare to follow the human fleet. But they underestimated the humans' determination, unity, and ingenuity. Exiled or not, humanity was no longer weak. Humanity was rising, and the Council's fear was only the beginning. The human empire fleet drifted cautiously through a remote sector of space. Reports had come in from scouts. The Galactic Council was mobilizing a massive fleet, stronger than anything humans had faced. Their intention was clear: crush the exiles before they could gain more power. Admiral Kael studied the reports on the bridge of the Valiant. They want to trap us, he said quietly. They know we are growing stronger. They want to make an example of us. Captain Miro frowned. A trap? Where? Lira tapped her console. Coordinates lead us near a black hole. It's unnatural. I've never seen one used this way before. The Council could be using its gravity to crush our ships or pull us into destruction. Kael's jaw tightened. Then we must be clever. They underestimate humans, but they will soon learn we survive where others fail. The fleet approached the black hole cautiously. Stars stretched and warped in the distorted gravity, their paths bending unnaturally. Every ship was tense, engines humming with strain as they fought the pull. Then, the trap revealed itself. Council ships appeared on all sides, forming a blockade. They think they can scare us, Miro said through gritted teeth. They don't know humans. Lira's fingers flew across the controls. The black hole's gravitational waves are strong, but I think I can create a wormhole. If I can manipulate the alien tech we salvage, we can escape. Kael's eyes narrowed. Do it, but it has to be perfect. One mistake, and the fleet is gone. As the Council ships fired warning shots, Lira's hands moved faster. Energy flowed through the alien device, bending space itself. Sparks flew across the control panel, alarms blaring. Miro coordinated the fleet, keeping ships in formation despite the black hole's pull. Almost there, Lira whispered, sweat beading on her forehead. Just a few more adjustments. Kael gritted his teeth. Hold together, everyone. Trust each other. We've survived worse than this. With a final surge of power, the wormhole opened, a swirling tunnel of light and energy. The fleet accelerated toward it, engines straining as the gravitational pull tried to drag them apart. Ships passed through one by one, the Council's fleet firing desperately, but unable to stop them. The last human ship cleared the wormhole. Behind them, the black hole loomed, Council ships trapped by their own strategy. Cheers erupted across the human fleet, but Kael remained calm. This was ingenuity, not luck, he said. We adapt. We survive. That is what makes us human. Miro slapped him on the back. That was insane. They thought they had us cornered, and we turned it around. Lira smiled weakly. The alien tech It saved us. But more importantly, we worked together. That is why humans survive where others fail. Even as the fleet celebrated, reports arrived from other systems. Several colonies under Council control had sent messages. Some were quietly aiding humans, others defecting openly. The galaxy was beginning to see the human name not as exiles, but as a rising force. But danger was not gone. The Council was furious. They had lost ships, prestige, and control. And now, the human empire had demonstrated that even their deadliest weapons, gravity, black holes, cunning traps, could not stop humanity. Kael stood on the bridge, looking out at the stars. They think fear can stop us, he said softly. They think cunning traps can end us. But humans are clever, determined, and relentless. We do not bend. We do not break. We rise. Miro turned to him, grinning. So, what next? Kael's eyes glinted with determination. Next, we strike. Not with blind rage, but with strategy. We will show the Council that exiling humanity was their greatest mistake. Lira's fingers danced across the console. And the signals, the mysterious energy readings from deep space, they are still out there. Whatever is calling us, whatever is waiting, we will be ready. The human fleet jumped into hyperspace, leaving the black hole behind. They had survived the Council's trap, but the galaxy was vast, full of unknown dangers and full of opportunities. Each star system held new challenges, new discoveries, and new chances to grow stronger. For the first time, the humans felt not like exiles, but like pioneers, warriors, and explorers, ready to reshape the galaxy. And deep in the shadows, the Council seethed with anger, realizing that the human empire's ingenuity had made them more dangerous than ever. The stars had become a battlefield, and humanity had just begun to master it. The human empire fleet glided silently through a dark nebula, its ships cloaked in shadows. Admiral Kael stood on the bridge of the Valiant, watching sensors flicker. The Council's armada was vast, powerful, and deadly, but it was unprepared for what humans had planned. This is our chance, Kael said quietly, his eyes cold and determined. They think exiles are weak. They think we can only defend ourselves. Today we strike. Captain Miro grinned. Finally, we go on the offensive. I've been waiting for this moment. Lira's hands flew over the console, checking weapon systems and energy readings. All systems are ready. Alien tech integrated, ships upgraded, and our crews, they are ready. But this attack has to be perfect. One mistake, and we lose everything. Kael nodded. Perfection is not guaranteed. Courage is, and humans have plenty of that. The fleet emerged from the nebula near a cluster of Council ships. The aliens did not expect an attack from this sector. Humans had chosen the perfect blind spot. As the Council ships rotated, their sensors finally caught the humans, but it was too late. Kael gave the order. Engage! The fleet moved like a single organism, coordinated and precise. Human ships dodged energy blasts, launched missile volleys, and struck where the Council was weakest. Miro's squadron took out the enemy flanks, while Lira's tactical calculations directed the main fleet to the command ship. The Council's fleet was powerful, but humans had something no one else did: ingenuity and unpredictability. Ships split and reformed, weapons fired from unexpected angles, and energy shields adapted in real time. Every strike was calculated to maximize impact, confuse the enemy, and protect civilians. Kael's voice echoed across the bridge. Focus on the command ship. If we take it down, the rest will scatter. A massive explosion rocked the Council flagship. Human fighters cheered as the Council's formation faltered. Ships collided, fired blindly, and retreated. Humans pressed forward, relentless and united. Miro looked at Kael. They didn't see this coming. Not at all. Kael's eyes were sharp. They thought exile would make us weak. It made us stronger. Every challenge, every betrayal, it prepared us for this moment. But the victory was not complete. A Council engineer on the command ship had activated a secret weapon, a planet-destroying energy cannon hidden within a nearby system. It was a weapon designed to annihilate entire colonies and fleets. Sensors picked it up just in time. Lira's voice trembled slightly. Admiral, if that cannon fires, It will destroy half of our newly liberated colonies. We must act now. Kael didn't hesitate. Prepare the fastest ships. We hit the cannon before it fires. Use stealth and alien tech. We cannot fail. Miro's squadron launched into hyperspace, weaving through debris and energy fields, dodging Council patrols. Lira's calculations guided every maneuver, predicting the weapon's firing sequence and gravitational pull. With a daring strike, the human team reached the cannon. Explosions rocked the area, alarms blaring. Miro piloted the lead ship with precision, planting charges on the weapon's power core. Lira's calculations synchronized the detonation with the fleet's movement. Seconds later, the weapon erupted in a controlled explosion, scattering debris into the void. The Council fleet was stunned. Humans had struck their first major blow and survived unscathed. Kael turned to Miro and Lira. Today, we showed them what humanity can do. Not only do we survive, we fight, we innovate, and we win. Across the galaxy, whispers spread. Exiled humans had not only defended themselves, they had gone on the offensive, striking where the Council least expected. Fear began to take hold. The exile fleet was no longer a threat to be dismissed. It was a force to be reckoned with. Lira looked at Kael. This is only the beginning. The Council will respond, stronger, more dangerous, but now they know they cannot underestimate us. Kael's eyes burned with determination. Let them come. The human empire does not wait for permission. We will adapt, strike, and survive. And one day, the galaxy will know that humanity cannot be exiled, cannot be defeated, and will never bow. The fleet jumped into hyperspace, leaving the battered Council ships behind. Human engineers began repairing ships, while strategists studied the next moves. They had won the first strike, but the war was far from over. Yet, for the first time since their exile, humanity felt the thrill of power, the surge of confidence, and the knowledge that the impossible was now within their reach. They were no longer victims. They were warriors, and the stars were theirs to claim. The human empire fleet glided to the void of space, battle-worn but stronger than ever. Admiral Kael stood on the bridge of the Valiant, gazing at the stars ahead. Systems that had once shunned humanity now sent messages of support. Colonies liberated from the Council's rule were rallying to the human empire's banner. Every system we've touched, every colony we've saved, they join us willingly. Kael said, his voice calm but full of pride. This is not just survival. This is growth. This is power. Captain Miro's grin spread across his face. And the Council? They're panicking, right? Kael's eyes narrowed. They fear us. But fear alone cannot stop humanity. Today, we show them what humans truly are capable of. Lira stepped forward, holding a tablet glowing with alien energy readings. The secret weapon the Council tried to hide? Destroyed. Their fleets are scattered. And the systems that were silent, they are awakening. Humanity is no longer alone in the galaxy. Kael nodded. Then we move forward. Strike where they are weakest. Liberate where they are strongest. And leave a warning for anyone who dares to oppose us. Humans do not ask for permission. We take what is ours. The fleet moved swiftly, striking at key Council installations. Each operation was precise, avoiding unnecessary loss of life, while maximizing strategic impact. Human ingenuity and the alien technology they had salvaged created a force unlike any the galaxy had seen. In a distant star system, Kael personally oversaw the liberation of a Council-controlled planet. Citizens cheered as human ships descended, offering aid, protection, and hope. Children waved from the streets, their eyes wide with wonder. For the first time, many had seen humans not as exiles, but as heroes. Miro turned to Kael. Do you think the Council can stop us? Kael shook his head slowly. They could try, but they underestimate what humanity is capable of. Exile did not weaken us. Betrayal did not destroy us. They gave us a reason to rise, and we did. The final challenge came in the form of a massive Council armada, determined to reclaim lost territories and crush humanity once and for all. The fleets clashed in the void, energy beams cutting through space, missiles streaking past glowing nebulae, and ships maneuvering with impossible precision. Humans fought not only with technology, but with courage, strategy, and unity. Each ship knew its role. Each crew member acted with purpose. Kael's tactics were brilliant, combining bold strikes, feints, and defensive formations that seemed impossible to counter. Lira coordinated the alien tech, enhancing shields, redirecting energy flows, and creating traps that disabled enemy ships without destroying them. Miro led squadrons of fighters, striking where the Council least expected. Every battle brought humans closer to victory. Every victory inspired confidence, and every Council defeat sowed fear. At the height of the battle, Kael faced the Council's flagship. Its weapons were formidable, its crew experienced, but it was predictable. Focus on the core, Kael ordered. Strike where they believe they are safe. A coordinated strike, led by human ingenuity and precise calculations, breached the Council flagship's defenses. Explosions rocked the ship, and the remaining Council fleet scattered in panic. Humanity had not only survived, they had conquered. The galaxy was quiet for a moment. Then, messages arrived from freed colonies, new allies, and even former Council worlds. They hailed humanity, offering support, resources, and loyalty. The human empire had grown from exiled refugees to the dominant force in the galaxy. Kael turned to his crew, pride swelling in his chest. We were exiled. We were betrayed. But we never surrendered. Humanity survives, thrives, and rises. Let this be known. No one can exile humanity and remain unchallenged. Miro laughed, clapping Kael on the shoulder. We did it. The galaxy belongs to us now, and we've only just begun. Lira smiled, looking at the stars. There's still so much out there, unknown systems, ancient technologies, and mysteries waiting for us. Humanity will explore, discover, and grow even stronger. Kael nodded, eyes on the horizon. The stars are no longer a prison. They are our home. We will not stop. We will expand, protect, and conquer, not for greed, but for survival, for knowledge, and for the people who believe in us. The fleet jumped into hyperspace, leaving behind the shattered Council fleets. Across the galaxy, whispers of humanity's rise spread like wildfire. Stories of bravery, ingenuity, and triumph inspired other exiled species. The legend of the human empire was born, not as victims, but as conquerors, pioneers, and champions. Somewhere, in distant corners of space, alien eyes watched and recorded humanity's rise. Some feared them, some admired them, but all knew one truth. The human empire had survived exile, conquered impossible odds, and now ruled the stars. Kael stood on the bridge, silent for a moment, then whispered to himself, Exiled? Yes, but humanity is unstoppable. The stars are ours, and we will never forget what it took to rise. And with that, the human empire moved forward, not as exiles, but as masters of the galaxy. The human empire had conquered the stars, or at least the stars that were known and reachable. Admiral Kael stood on the bridge of the Valiant, looking out at an endless expanse of glowing nebulae and distant suns. The galaxy was quiet for the first time in decades, but Kael knew better than to trust peace. Quiet doesn't mean safe, Lira said, adjusting her glasses as she analyzed strange energy readings on the sensors. There's something out there, something massive, unlike anything we've encountered before. It's not the Council. It's older. Miro frowned, resting his hands on the rail. Older? How old are we talking? Lira swallowed. We're talking civilizations that may have existed before the Council, before even recorded history. Their technology, it's beyond our understanding, but it's calling to us like it wants to be found. Kael's eyes narrowed. Then we answer. Humanity survived exile, defeated the Council, and conquered the stars. We will not shy away from the unknown. This is what humans do. The fleet jumped into hyperspace, following the strange signal. Systems they had never charted stretched before them. Planets with rings of crystal, moons covered in glowing vegetation, and asteroid belts that hummed with energy. The farther they traveled, the more the crew realized that the galaxy held secrets far greater than the Council had ever imagined. As humans explored, scouts detected anomalies. Ships of unknown design moving at impossible speeds, strange energy storms that seemed almost alive, and remnants of civilizations long forgotten. Kael realized that humanity was no longer just a rising empire. It was now a pioneer universe full of mysteries, dangers, and opportunities. "This is the beginning," Kael said, turning to Miro and Lira. "Not the end of our story, but the start of something bigger. We've proven we can survive and conquer. Now it's time to explore, understand, and shape the galaxy in ways no one ever dreamed." The Council, still licking its wounds, sent emissaries to negotiate, apologize, and spy. But humanity had grown too strong to fear them. Former enemies began to send ambassadors, willing to ally with the humans instead of fight them. But not all were friendly. Somewhere, in the shadow of unexplored space, a new power was awakening. Ancient, intelligent, and curious, but dangerous. Lira monitored the sensors. Her voice tense. "Admiral, I'm not sure what this is. It's massive, and it's moving toward us." Kael's expression hardened. "Then we prepare. Humans do not flee. We adapt. We fight. And we will rise stronger than ever." Miro laughed softly. "So more adventures, then?" Kael smiled grimly. "More battles, more discoveries, more triumphs. Humanity was exiled once. Humanity survived once. Humanity conquered once. And humanity will continue to rise again and again until the stars themselves remember our name." The fleet jumped into the unknown, heading toward the mysterious energy signal. Behind them, the conquered council systems flourished under human guidance. Ahead, the galaxy waited, full of danger, wonder, and opportunity. And somewhere in the darkness, the whispers began. Other civilizations had noticed the rise of humanity. Some would challenge them. Some would join them. But all would remember one truth. Exiled or not, humans were unstoppable. The human empire had conquered the known stars. But now, the universe itself was theirs to explore. The dawn of a new era had begun.